And welcome to another episode of the Sharp Side of Paranormal. I am your host, Cody, and we have an exciting episode today. I've got fellow paranormal investigator Brad Ferris, who I've had the privilege of investigating with on numerous occasions. I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing. Apparently, I'm getting a notification that Facebook is not streaming right now. I have no idea. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to catch this on YouTube afterwards, or you can watch live stream on YouTube. I did get a message from a fan that wanted me to share this. So, it's a change.org petition. Save Mid-Orange Correctional Facility. I guess the current owners are considering getting rid of paranormal investigations. And obviously, with it being on Destination Fear, Ghost Nation, Ghost Hunters has quite the reputation. They're trying to save it, trying to get the owners to change their mind. I will share that on my Facebook as well as other social media. Because we got to save these locations. It's very important in the paranormal community, especially we have one that does have a rich history and is confirmed haunted. So, yeah. But like I said, without further ado, I'm gonna bring Brad in, and we're gonna hear his tale of the paranormal. And here he is.
Yay! Hi,
Yay.
everyone.
And his voodoo doll.
Yep. My 6-foot tall voodoo doll.
Now, you got that at the Pythias, right?
I did. I bought this at the Pythias. I was there helping the guy one night, and I was just walking around shopping, and I kind of glanced over, and I saw this thing, and I'm like, that's got to come home with me. And then I'm like, I don't know if it's going to fit in the car. And then the owner's husband's like, well, take it outside and see if it fits. And then if it fits, come pay for it. And I'm like, okay. So I folded him in half, and he fit in the back seat, and he came home with me.
And he's been paranormal investigating with you.
He has. He went to Prospect Place with me. He's been back to the Pythias with me. He may be coming to the Monroe House with me. He's been to Hannah House. He's been to Para Unity.
Now, will he be joining you next week?
Yeah, I can bring him next week too.
I always think it's fun when you you bring him to.
Right. Yeah, he can definitely come with me next week. I think there's plenty of car space. Because he's like an entire person. He literally takes up like an entire seat.
And I saw he's got a girlfriend. I saw he's
yeah. Yeah, my friend Liberty and him became boyfriend and girlfriend at Hannah House, and then they got engaged. So
So when's the wedding?
I don't know. She's coming with us when we go to Monroe in 2 weeks, so we can ask her then.
I can't wait for the Monroe House. I can't wait for the Pythias. I haven't been on an investigation for like a month and a half now, so I'm just like, you know how like you get the paranormal hangover, but then you get the
withdrawal.
Yeah. I was trying to find the word.
It's withdrawal.
I'm definitely feeling the withdrawal because, but here's the problem with that. I want to do more investigations, which I'm going to do. But then the flip side is I still have editing to do from the first time I went to Pythias, the second time, the Monroe House, ISS, the Bell Mansion. I got all these places that I have been to, and then I just don't edit the video.
Yeah, that's kind of why I go so often that I don't even like hardly record anything anymore. I just pretty much go for the personal experience, and that's it. Because if I recorded every place I went, I'd never get caught up. Because I think at one time I had 6 full voice recorders of audio from places that I just have never listened to, because it's like I'm never going to find time.
So you say you go for personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Have you, speaking of those personal experiences, what is your craziest personal experience?
Oh, I've had so many at different locations. At the
We'll
Pythias,
we'll share them all.
that could take several days, but I'll do the highlights. At the Pythias, it was the time I've had two there that were super impressive. It was me, Sky, and our friend Don, and we were getting ready to leave for the night. So we were coming down those steep stairs from upstairs, and I was the last one out, so I shut that door at the top of the stairs, and it latched. Well, I get about 2 steps down, and that door slams open like completely, like to the point I'm like startled by it and run down those steps. And you know how steep those steps are, and
Yes.
running down them in sandals is not a good thing.
No.
But I nearly beat the girls to the bottom.
You know what's funny about that? That's usually the same thing with me. I'm always the one that's beating the girls out of a place because I'm a little chicken shit. So
I don't usually react like that, but that scared the crap out of me. Hey,
so
Cassie. I was another time I was there. It was me, Sky, and the Bam Ghouls, and that was the night we were using the animatronic
thanks,
clown,
Cassie.
and it would go off throughout the entire night. And
Yeah.
and it's motion activated. You literally got to be like 10 feet in front of it, but it'd be going off with nobody close to it. We'd be in the room, but we wouldn't be close enough. Well, we were all in that little foyer at the top of the steps, and I was being a smartass, and I'm like, it would be really funny if you would go off one more, and before I even got it all the way out, you heard that clown go off at the far end of that big room, and we weren't even, and there was nobody in the room with it.
And
so
that's
everyone
why,
screamed, and we all ran down the stairs.
and that's why I'm happy that it was broken when I went there, because I
Yep.
probably would have shit my pants.
Yep. Because that happened the time right before I met you there.
And then you've been groped there
I have been touched there in the basement. Yes.
a couple of times. I was there.
I
I was there one time. You, Sky, and I were with Shawnell in the basement, and whatever it was grabbed my ass when I was sitting down, and then it like got all up on you.
Yep. Something in the basement down there definitely likes me. So I'm definitely looking forward to going back there next week.
Hi, Melanie. Melanie will be there, right? Bam.
Yeah.
Bam will be there.
Yep. Bam will be there.
I'm so excited. So what got you into the paranormal?
I've always lived in a haunted house, so I've started seeing things in my own house roughly about age 4 or 5 was when I remember my first stuff. I'm on the show, Mom. I can't hear you. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Hi,
Amber.
Hi, Amber and Melanie. So I remember seeing stuff like that or seeing shapes and lights in my house when I was little, and then it's just kind of progressed from there. I've seen a little girl's head walk down my hallway. I've had lights turn on and off by themselves. Like my parents have a touch lamp in their bedroom, and had just got home from high school. I was the only one home, coming down the hallway, and I looked in their room, and this lamp was on, and I'm like, I know they didn't leave that on all day. And then I look back at it, and it turned itself off. I'm like, wait a second, something has to actually physically touch that to turn off. So I'm like, that's definitely not normal. My grandfather lived with us for a while before he went to the nursing home, and he was afraid of banks and hoarded money because he was a child of the Depression and just didn't trust banks. So he always had money, like a ton of money with him. So he's like, when he moved up here, he's like, where am I going to keep this? Where are we going to keep this safe? And we're like, we have the perfect place. We're going to put it in this dishwasher that's unplugged and not hooked up. and we can lock it in there and it'll be just fine. He's like, okay. Well, we go a little bit, and a few days go by, and then that dishwasher tries to turn itself on, being unplugged and not hooked up.
I wish I could get a ghost that would do my dishes for me.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be great. I know my wife would appreciate that. Hi, Brandy.
Hey, Brandy. So then and then about 2010 is when I actually started like investigating and going places. So I met a friend, and she was part of a team, and I'm like, hey, I live in a haunted house. So they came and investigated my house and got some cool activity. So then I'm like, hey, can I come with you guys sometime? And they're like, yeah. So the first location I went to was Step Cemetery down in Morgan Monroe State Forest. And then the first pay-to-play location I ever went to was Waverly Hills. And that was in June of 2011 is when my first time ever going investigating. That was his arm, by the way.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was just gonna let speculation. Was that his arm? There might be kids watching. I don't know.
Yeah,
you never know. Yeah. So the waiver, Cassie. So, tell me about the Waverly. It's on my bucket list. I've never been, but
I've been 3 times. I've been in June, I've been in April, and I've been in July. It's cold in April, and it's hot as balls in June and July. Activity-wise, I think it's overhyped. I mean, I had activity. It was fun. I've always done it private. I've never done a public, because at publics are just kind of going to meet the people. You don't really get to investigate. But I mean, it's fun, but I'm glad I've said I've been there. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend it. It's too expensive.
That's a shame. I know the Ghost Bros, Armand and them have gone there, and they got footprints, like bare footprints through a wet area that went into a dry area. And I'm just like,
I had that happen to me at ISS the last time I was at ISS, when I was there with Sky and Clarissa and my friend Leah. Sky and Leah and someone else who was with them, and Dawn had got trapped in the administration building by bats. Like, they had a swarm of bats just like swarming the shit out of them. So I grabbed a tray, a lunch tray out of the cafeteria part, and walked back to the administration building, and it had been raining, so it was raining in the goddamn building, which was annoying as shit. But as I walked, I could hear footsteps behind me, and when I got down to the administration building, they had bolted. So then I walked back to where Adams Hall, and there was a second set of footprints behind me that weren't mine.
No. I would have gotten out of there.
And then I've also found footprints at the Pythias too, in that one closet.
Yes, and they were still there that first time that I was there, and
they use that closet now for storage, so I think they're still there, but they're hard to see now.
Oh, they use it so I can't do a solo there again?
I mean, you might be able to stand in it, but the last time I was there was quite a bit of stuff in that closet.
I did 7 Minutes of Heaven with Sarah the Ghost.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how that worked out. It didn't.
Well, you can try again. I'm like, it might be a little cozier now, though.
She killed my camera. I mean, it works, but it yeah, brand new batteries right off the charger. Dead in 5 seconds. You hear like a scream or like a moan or something right before it cuts out, and then it's gone.
Interesting.
I know, but that's also the one where Sky had to get all sassy.
Yep.
Hi, Ken. Ken's really awesome. He's a psychic that he I was doing a TikTok live at the Monroe House, and we were in the middle of an Estes session, and Ken was starting to say names, and then Angel and Lindsay, who were there with me, Angel was under doing the Estes, and he was started saying those names that Ken was saying in the chat. Had no
interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I'm just like, how?
I've done Estes at Monroe in a very interesting way. I set up a DVR system and put someone upstairs by themselves and had called each other on our cell phones and put them on speaker so we could hear what was coming through their phone, and they could hear us, but they couldn't hear us, but we could hear if anything happened up there, and just watch them and ask questions via the cell phones, and had some interesting things coming through on that.
I want to try the Estes next week at the Pythias.
Okay, I'll definitely make sure I bring all my stuff for it. Because I have 2 setups for it now. I have 2 sets of headphones now, and I've actually done it. The last time I was at the Pythias, I used one SB7 and had 2 people under at the same time and just used an audio splitter.
That, I never thought of doing that.
Because then I've had it happen at other locations, and it didn't happen too much last time at the Pythias, but I've had it happen before when I've done it like that at Geyer Opera House, and people were saying the exact same thing at the same time, and we knew they couldn't hear each other.
Okay, we got to try that at the Pythias. I want to see if we can communicate with Sarah or whatever is there, because I want to know why. 1, why are you really handsy? And 2, what is your story? I want to know what happened to her, because clearly there's something there that she's stuck there.
Yeah, it's a fun place. I'm actually thinking about running it later or early spring next year and doing a special event there that can't really say much about yet, but
I get it. You got to keep it under wraps until it's confirmed.
Right. Yeah, I have a few interesting things planned for next year. So
what's your favorite piece of equipment to use?
I really enjoy the portal box that I built out of the guitar amp, the noise gate, and the reverb. If I can get it to work properly, because it seems real finicky, like certain locations it just does not want to work. But if I can get it to work properly, I can tune out all the hissing from an SB7 and just get clear voices from it.
Interesting. I've never. I know you had. Cassie says she likes your rope light.
Oh, yep, I do have the rope light too. It's cool.
I hope that's not a euphemism for something.
Not that I know of.
We gotta keep it semi-PG, maybe.
It's 36 foot long.
All right. I want to get a rope light. It's just okay. That's inappropriate. I want to get a rope light. They're just so expensive.
They are. It's almost, I would recommend getting the 12-foot rope light because it has the same amount of sensors as the 36-foot rope light. They're just closer together. And it's like $50 cheaper.
I'm just partial to the cat balls.
Yeah, I've had good luck with cat balls too. I have so much equipment. I've actually got stuff coming from Cracked Skull Paranormal. They're supposed to be. I've ordered some stuff, and then he's sending me some extra stuff to try out.
Cracked Skull. I've heard the name, but I haven't seen any of their stuff.
Yeah, he just posted some new REM pods. Is what I bought. I bought 2 of his new REM pods, and then he's sending me some holders for some mag lights and he's sending me some stuff that's not actually for sale yet because he wants me to test it out.
Well, hopefully you get them before next
I'm
Saturday.
supposed to.
Well, if he sees this video, we would like to use them at the Pythias
And I don't live that far from him, so worst case scenario, I'm even willing to come down to his house and pick them up.
Or at the Monroe house, or both.
Yeah, I've told him that what I have coming up, and he said he would get them to me, but I have not heard back from him, so I need to reach out to him.
I think you need to go to his house.
Yeah, I do too. I was actually in the town he lived in yesterday, and I thought, I'm this close. I should just reach out and see if he has it and go and pick it up, but I didn't think about it.
I did buy more cameras for my DVR system, so now I do have 8 total cameras.
Nice, nice. One of my teammates is looking at a new Wi-Fi DVR system that he's thinking about buying. So,
see, I went with wired.
Yep, the ones I have wired. I have 3 DVR systems with a total of like 20 cameras if I wanted to. But running all that wire and cleaning up all that wire when you're tired gets overwhelming. So there again, that's another reason why I don't record a lot of stuff anymore.
See, I mean, it records to the hard drive, but I don't even pull off the hard drive. I just hook it up to my YouTube and live stream right to YouTube. And that's what I did at ISS. And I had 1,500 feet of cable spread out because obviously the ISS doesn't have power. So like I parked my Jeep like in the middle of the yard where I could get their Wi-Fi so I could run my switcher off their Wi-Fi, but my Jeep has a built-in inverter. So I was powering the cameras from inside the Jeep. So
I guess that's a smart idea.
It's a news Jeep. That's what it is. So yeah, I had my laptop, I had my streamer, I had a little monitor that I could see what was streaming, and then I had the DVR system. But
yeah, one of the best pieces of video footage I ever caught, I actually caught on my DVR, but it wasn't what we thought we were going to catch. It was at Ashmore Estates. We went out there in like 2015 for 2 full days. And the first time we were out there, we walked by this room and we saw this rocking chair rocking by itself. So we set up a DVR camera watching this chair, and we go back and watch the video like a couple weeks after we were there, and we catch this shadow figure that walks across the room, turns around and walks back. And we know we saw the timestamp, and we know everyone was out of the building at that time, and we were all at dinner. So we know none of us caused the shadow.
It is always nice when you're like going back through your stuff and hey, no one's there at that point. So
and we caught it because we were watching the video at like 8 times fast forward. And me and my friend John were like watching and just kind of like zoning out. And then all of a sudden we see this thing go across the screen and we're like, holy shit.
It is dedication, Ken. So like it took me like 2 hours running all the cable and getting it. See, putting it all together took longer than tearing it down. Luckily, but
it just cuts into so much of your investigation time. It's some locations where your time is limited. That's why I don't like using a DVR.
I know. Luckily, we had ISS for like 17 hours, and I got there at 5. I was like, I'm not wasting any daylight. I'm gonna go in quickly, find the Wi-Fi. If I couldn't get the Wi-Fi, I wasn't going to do the live stream. So I wasn't going to set everything up and then be like, oh, no Wi-Fi. So I got the Wi-Fi, got that set up, and then I started running cables. So I had one on the 5th floor and the 3rd floor of Adams. I had one in the nurses station, and then I had one in the 100 hall of the nursing home because I ran out of cable. I was trying to get one in administration, but I was if I had another 100 feet, I would have been I would have been able to get in that front door of administration,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so mad. I also bought more cable. So
Yep, that's my thing too. I have spools and spools and spools of cable.
I know my wife is watching this right now, and she promised that she would help me untangle them. So I need to get that done before next Saturday, hun, if you're watching, because
I
I
recommend spools.
you know what, I'm going to I'm gonna go get like spools for like
Extension cords.
okay, yep,
They
I'm
have
going
like
to
the reel on the side, and you just yep.
yeah, I'm going to
Highly recommend it. And then what you do is you put one on, then you get the little adapter that connects the two cables together, and then just reel the next one on, and then put the next one on, and you can keep it all on a spool together.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
Mine are in the other room where I jump up and show you what I have, but
I freaked out. I forgot my furnace was running, and my green screen started like moving. Like you can't see it off in the because it's off camera, but it just like started like flapping really crazy. And I'm like, great, I brought my work home with me.
yeah. Well, like I said, I live in one, so I always have my work home with me. It's always here.
So like I know you told a little bit of, what has happened at your home. Have you had anything like extremely crazy or
I had a picture fly off the wall once and crash to the floor and the glass in it be broken, and nobody was in the room when it happened. We just heard it. But it wasn't like it just came off the hook and went straight down. It came out and around stuff and was like 3 or 4 feet away, upside down broken. It wasn't like it just came straight down. And even if it came straight down, it would have hit a TV like entertainment center and been on it. No, it was like 2 or 3 feet away. Another thing I've had happen is when I was like 8 or 9, it was like a Saturday morning, and I was on the couch and my mom was on the love seat, and then on this other wall there was a old china cabinet and a TV tray with a bag of candy that was standing on it that was designed to stand up, and it had been there for a few days. Well, we're sitting there not really paying attention, and all of a sudden that bag of candy just falls over, and the candy in it rolls out of the bag, off the tray, onto the floor, out about 3 feet, and does a complete circle. And then the next one did the exact same thing. And we were all like, and me and my mom were like 10, 15 feet away from it when we were watching this happen.
So do you know like what kind of history in the house? Was there like a death or
we're only the second owners, and it was built by my uncle. So my dad's lived on this street for 73 years. So there's no death in the house, but I live on the east side of Indy, about 2 blocks off of US 40, which is the old national road. So they think it could possibly be, there was a cholera outbreak in this area way back when, so it could be connected to like a burial from that. I actually have the abstract for the land my house is on, so I know the list of every owner that's ever owned the land. And the first owner was a radical Methodist minister from Baltimore who never actually lived in Indiana, but bought land out here. And at one time, his autobiography was the second best-selling book in the United States, only behind the Bible.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I have it documented that he actually owned the land my house sat on.
Do you think he did like rituals and stuff?
I don't think he ever moved to Indiana, because he bought land out here, but he never actually lived out here.
That sounds very shady.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, his name is Lorenzo Dow, and he is the first one listed that bought like 500 acres from the U.S. government for like $75 in like 1829.
I wish I had like 500 acres for $75. That would be
right.
I'd live there. Cassie's got a question for you. Brad, do you have any other haunted objects besides Sir Henry?
Oh, I do collect things from haunted locations. I have a very large brick collection that I've procured, we'll call it, from haunted places. I do have a floor tile from the Monroe house. I have a meat cleaver from the Hannah house. Trying to think if I have anything else. There's a haunted house down in southern Indiana that I used to help run tours at once a year. And like the last people who were there just kind of upped and vacated. So there was shit left everywhere in the house. And one time I went and picked up I found a canceled check. And as soon as I picked up the canceled check, the K2 I had in my hand went to red, like solid red, on a paper canceled check. Doesn't make any sense to me. So then I put it down. I'm like, I'm not taking that. And then when I came back the next year, I found the exact same check still in the house. And I'm like, that's coming home with me this time. So I have that too.
Now, do you get any activity like with your K2 when it's, or is it just?
I've not checked. It's literally right over there in the room with me, but I've not really checked it in years because I've had it for a long time.
And if you're a haunted location owner, Brad does not make it a habit of stealing stuff from your location.
Exactly.
It's just a one-off. These are all just
it's only happened like once or twice or a few times.
It happens. Like I don't know. I wanted at ISS I found a
I have a brick literally from the city streets of Hartford City. Like before they remodeled part of the town, there was an alleyway that was brick. Like all the pavement had gone away and it was down to the old brick below it. And I literally picked a brick up right out of it. So I have a full brick out of Hartford City, but it wasn't from a location. It was just from the town.
That's fair. Like I was at ISS and I found in the administration on the second floor, there was a DVD it was like an informational DVD of the Lee Allen Bryant medical facility. And I really wanted to take it just so I could like pull the video off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I was there, I completely forgot. So, but I don't want to steal. Like, listen, I don't want to steal anything from there, especially because I got Adam Kimmel, one of the owners to, one of the franchise owners to agree to come on the podcast. So it'd be kind of like, hey, I'm talking about stealing stuff from your building, but I'm not. I don't want to do that.
You just want to borrow it long enough to get the video off of it.
Listen, I'll just take my laptop and I'll just plug in. I'll just rip it right off there and I'll
put it back.
Put it back. It's just it's because here's the thing: you go online and there's really not much from the Lee Allen Bryant online. And we all know why, but that's just. It's got such a bad history. I wanted to see how they tried the paint. Yes, Hartford City
is creepy. Yes.
I used to work EMS down in Eaton, Indiana, and we would respond into Hartford City every once in a while when IU was not available. And just some of the stories I heard from people about Hartford City, it's just...
Yeah, that whole town is creepy. It's like... And what's interesting about that town, it's like the spirits can travel between all the different locations. They're not just stuck in whatever building that they're associated with.
I was in a TikTok live the other day. It was actually Adam Kimmel's, and someone brought up the Monroe house, and he was talking about how he feels like some of those places, like those houses, just he wants to go around there. And Bam has brought it up. Sky has brought it up. They just want to go to these houses next town or next to these locations. Be like, hey, do you guys have any activity? Yes.
I think it's weird about Hartford City is you can draw almost like perfect straight line from the Monroe house through the old Blackford County Jail into the speakeasy. It's like a perfectly straight line between them all.
Do you think there's like a tunnel or something?
It could be that. It could be a ley line. It's lots of different possible things. It's just weird that it's such a straight line to me.
I don't, like I've said before, it's, when you got towns that have these tunnels or these like easy ways to get from underneath stuff, which is a tunnel. Yeah. The activity, or like a sewer or something like that. The activity seems to be like it spreads. It just isn't in this concentrated area. Fort Wayne is like that. Hartford City is like that. Rockville, Indiana is like that because you got ISS,
right,
and then literally right down the road you got Billy Creek.
Yep. I've never been to Billy Creek since it's been a haunted location. I remember going to Billy Creek as a kid and seeing their Civil War reenactment. So I've actually been there, but not in a paranormal investigator since.
I've heard from people. I'm friends with one of the tour guides there, and I heard it's legit. So it's on my list of things that are places I want to go.
Yeah, I'd like to go out there again. Like I said, I've been there as a kid and remember seeing the Civil War reenactments and the flea market and stuff, but just haven't made it back out there as an adult.
What we need to do is like a weekend. We need to do ISS again. We'll get Bam, Sky, you, me, Liberty. Maybe we can talk Cassie into showing up, or she'll wuss out again. And then like we do that on like a Friday, and then or like do Billy Creek on a Friday, and then a Saturday night do ISS. Melanie's like, let's go, and Amber's like, I second that. So
yep, that would be fun. Yeah, and then out that way also, like I said, be probably a little farther out, but you could also do 100-Step Cemetery, which is out in Putnam County, which is probably one of the most well-known.
Cassie, we'll figure something out. Just get yourself to Indiana, and we'll figure something out. Kenneth's like, we have tunnels from the Underground Railroad in our town that still exist to this day. See, Brandy's on board. So we got Melon. So Bam's on board.
So Bam's already all here. So yes.
Bam's on board. Me and you are on board. Voodoo Doll's on board.
Right.
I know Sky will be on board.
Right.
Cassie's like, it's fine. I'll just sell a kidney or something. You only need one. You can
live with one.
You can live with one. You're good. My uncle only has one. He was only born with one. He's lived his whole life with one, so it's okay. Bam is always ready to go.
And then they can always do dialysis if that one starts acting up. So
Bam is always ready to go. Yeah, there we go. Exactly. See? So, and Kenneth lives in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
So, would your uncle like another?
That's clever.
He's like in his 60s or 70s. I don't even know. It wouldn't go to use. But you can go to like Columbia and somebody would cut that out of you and give you like $160,000.
Yeah, but you might also end up in a bathtub of ice too.
These are just risks. That you have to take. I didn't say it was a good one. Never a good option. It's like, you've seen Dodgeball, right?
Which one?
Dodgeball?
Oh, no, I've never actually watched that movie.
Oh, first off, it's hilarious. So they're trying to save the gym. Sounds relaxing. Here's the thing. I think the comments that come in make up like 90% of the content in this show, and I just roll with it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'd be sitting here like,
tell me more.
No, so they're trying to. It is a great movie. So they're trying to save the gym, and someone's like, "We could sell blood and semen," and everybody looks at him like weird. And he's like, "Well, not together." Okay, so we're at a residential right now. Any suggestions for us try to get things popping? All right.
Is this the residential you guys originally told me about? Or is this a new one?
It's the Paranormal Call-In Show. Call in.
Right.
1-800. Yes, it is. 1-800-SPOOKY, and we'll answer your questions live on the air. Kenneth says he's there. Here we go. We're gonna do it like a paranormal. He's here. It is the one we told you about.
Let me think. That one was a little iffy, if I remember right, with lots of possible slight mental illness. Not sure what to suggest.
Hey, Clarissa just showed up. Hey.
Yeah, 40 minutes late.
41 minutes late. And in everybody's defense, like originally, you're describing me. In everyone's defense, iffy with mental illness. So, when we first started the live stream, Facebook wasn't working. So I had to, while you were talking, I deleted Facebook off and then reapplied it, and it's streaming there now, which is good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it is streaming there now. Clarissa.
Yeah, I saw her. I see her comment.
Decided to hunt the house. My kids are doing that right now. I don't know if you guys have been able to hear the thuds, but they were running around, and I can hear one of them. Kenneth gives good advice. Hit the room with the most reported occurrences first.
Yeah, that would make sense. I would be interviewing the people who live there and see if talking with them causes anything to happen. From what I remember of you guys telling me some of the backstory of the location.
See, that's the thing. I can't, like, without like a backstory or any information, I can't really like say what I would do, because usually, like Kenneth says, so when I get, well, where do you have the most activity? And then we go there and try to figure out what would be causing it. Oh, we already interviewed them. They aren't here now. Also went to the most active room already. That is
maybe like it's a little kid to ignore it and see if anything happens. Like, try not to investigate. Just try to be there in the moment.
You know, it's a good idea. Set up some equipment, set up some cameras, and just, I don't know, play on your phones. Watch some weird guy that's got a green screen in his basement talk about paranormal. I don't know.
The guy sitting with a Ouija or a voodoo doll next to him.
What we're doing right now?
Well, it might help. Who knows?
Oh, look at that. Eliana is currently stopped. Oh, Emmett is asleep. I thought that was Emmett. Yeah, Kenneth has a good question for you, Bam. What equipment do you have on hand? And then Cassie says, just sit and talk to them. You'd be surprised how comfortable they get when you talk one-on-one and come from a place of understanding. That is all good advice.
Mm-hmm. We might have to make this a reoccurring thing, Cody, and just have call-in questions.
Yeah, 1-800. I gotta figure out how I would get that. Play it on speakerphone.
Right. Yeah, have them just call us, and we could do
Yeah, Amber.
What's Henry's favorite location?
Yeah, let's.
Let's see. Actual locations he's been to. He went to Prospect Place with me. He did a nice photo shoot at Prospect Place. Like, he was like lounging on one of the couches and sitting on the steps, and I think I even took him out to the barn, and he's obviously been to the Pythias. He's going to go to Monroe. I would say his probably favorite place has got to be the Pythias, since that's where he came from.
Now, Brad, I do have a question. Are you worried that I know you live in a haunted house, but are you worried something is going to like attach itself to Henry, like something dark?
No.
No?
Not in the least.
I'm always worried, and my wife is the big pusher on that one. She's always worried that something will actually
I don't think, with him especially, he's just an inanimate object. Yes, things can attach to them, but that's super rare. I don't think he's just. I think I have enough protection around me, just with my own personal beliefs, that nothing is going to come close to me or the area that I'm at. That's super negative. Like, it's not going to stay around.
Cassie has a weird question. Does he have his own room?
Nope. Well, kinda. He stays here in my office. He's got a futon. He's got a computer.
You don't sleep in the same bed with him?
No. People have asked me that, though.
A little weird.
Yeah, he usually sits in this office chair that he's sitting in right now. But he does look out the door, so if you're not paying attention and you walk by the door and you look in and see him, it is a little unnerving at times.
I would just get that to fuck with my wife. I would like put him in bed.
Well, if you can see, I have a Jared Leto Joker standee behind me.
Yeah.
He used to stand out here before I put him behind the desk. But one time I had a Michael Myers Halloween mask that needed stretched out and straightened.
Yeah.
So I had it stretched over the face of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it literally had like a 6 foot tall Michael Myers standing in here with a white mask on. So the voodoo dolls.
He's a great body pillow.
Probably it. He needs restuffed. I need to open him up and restuff him.
That's what she said.
Yep.
Brandy's got a question. Brad, how many hats do you own?
Of this kind or in general?
Let's go both. Let's answer both of that.
Okay. Of this kind, I think I'm up to 9. Yeah, I think I'm up to 9 of these, and total hats, I'm over 200.
That's a lot of hats. Wow. Cassie. That's terrible. Cassie, when are you gonna be a guest on here? You need to be a guest. We want to hear your stories. You're more entertaining than I am. I guarantee that. I only scream like a little girl. That's the only thing that's entertaining about me, is I'm good for a good laugh.
I've screamed a few times, but they're usually my friends screwing with me. Like, I was at Old Lake County Jail up by Chicago, and my friend Jen scared the bejesus out of me. Like, I scream like a girl, and they loved it because they caught it on audio.
I've already heard them, but my audience has. Okay, so and I'm not going to sit here and read your stories that you emailed to me and never got published, because we could do a group. God.
Okay.
I'll just sit in a corner.
You can have up to like 10 people on this podcast.
I know.
That could go way wrong, way fast, but it would be highly entertaining.
You know what? We are fun to talk to. That's the thing. And how I'm acting right now is how. See, like I went to go close it, and then I opened up another one. Henry will take your place.
He's like the strong silent type. You don't say a whole lot.
49 minutes in, look who decided to show up.
Hi, Sky.
Hi, Sky. I want to do that like next year. I want to do like a paranormal roundtable and like fill this up with as many people as I could possibly can, and I'm just gonna ask like questions, and like people just.
Yep, sign me up. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think that would be great. We love you too, Sky. We were talking about the Pythias and how we're excited for next week because
it's somebody's birthday.
yeah, somebody's birthday. By the way, Sky, you cannot go back and watch the beginning of this episode. If you do, I will hurt you. When I mean by me, I mean Brad will.
That was before the show aired, Cody.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then good. Never mind then. You know what? I don't listen, I have been drinking, so I don't know what has been said and what hasn't been said.
That was before the show, Cody.
Okay. Well, shit. I've been to Hot Springs, Arkansas before. Lovely little town.
I have too.
I used to roll through.
There's a haunted strip club there. I've been in it and investigated it while it was open.
Share the secrets with the. Yeah, Cassie, what's said before the show stays with the show. All I will say is I now have 8 cameras for the DVR system, and all 8 will be utilized for a live stream next week at the Pythias because I'm crazy. So, Brad, I know I touched on it a little bit in the pre-interview.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit of paranormal drama this week.
I love paranormal drama as long as it doesn't include me. Once it includes me, it's not as fun, but I usually squash that pretty fast.
So Cody and Satori have been accused of faking stuff, kind of like the Fox sisters did. Ooh, get the popcorn. Yes.
Yep. I know Clarissa. She loves to hear paranormal drama.
So if people don't know, Satori is Jason Hawes' daughter, and her fiance or husband Cody, extra butter, extra butt. We're gonna put extra butt. Oh, Cassie is so glad that I brought this up. They got accused of they're faking, and
no way.
I know. It's just. Here's the thing. There's people out there that fake. Like, I will say this.
Grant Wilson was accused of faking.
Huh. I know.
Yeah, one of the episodes of Ghost Hunters where his jacket moves, you can literally see him moving it on himself.
That shit just pisses me off.
And then, like I said, there's videos from Hannah House of a rocking horse moving that you can see the fish line. So... yeah, it happens.
And there's someone here in Indiana that fakes stuff too.
Fake it till you make it. Yep.
See, I don't have to fake anything. Everything you see, like in an investigation, is just me. Like,
yeah,
the raw emotion.
Yep, me too. Like, that's dumb to make fake stuff. Like, if you know you're at a haunted location, it's either going to happen or you can't make it happen on cue. I mean,
there's Corbin Bentley in the Birdsall Mansion out of South Bend. He has this video. It was back in August of this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's downstairs. He says he's been recording for like 2 hours. This door. And then you see the door shut and you see like the shadow go from left to right. So he freaks out and then goes in there because he's trying to debunk it. But what he does is as soon as he goes in, he turns the camera to the left, the opposite direction of where the shadow went.
Oh.
And then he gives a few seconds and then he goes to the right and then explores to the right. But in that moment, there's plenty of time if there was somebody to the right to get out of the way. And I'm like, if I'm going to debunk something and I see a shadow go from left to right, I am going to immediately look to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan of the bird cell. I was supposed to go there actually tonight. I've got friends that are there right now, and I
Never
backed
been
out.
up to that one.
I backed out. Just I don't
Because
know.
you wanted to chat with me.
Well, no, I backed out a long time ago before I
Oh.
did the podcast.
Well, darn.
I'm sorry. Yes, I backed out because of you, Brad.
Oh, good.
I've never met Ken prior,
Mm-hmm.
and he did legit prove himself in a live on that TikTok live. And unfortunately, the video of it got taken away because I got a community guidelines violation. Because I was tormenting one of the spirit, like I was trash talking one of the spirits.
Gotta love bullying.
Yeah, that's why. If you want to pee, you got to go up and over like 4 blocks at the bird cell, and it's not a very nice neighborhood. It's not.
Oh.
So I just nope. Like it's in South Bend. It's in a not nice area, and there are people that will mug you.
Oh, fun. I've never been to South Bend. I kind of want to go.
Get mugged?
Maybe. I'm a big guy. Most guys don't. Most people don't bother me. So the tattoos kind of like work as like to fend them off.
That is a fair point. Well, Brad, it is almost time to end the show. It has been an absolute.
It has been a lot of fun.
No, you don't. They get like 4 cents in a Tootsie Roll wrapper. Listen, how did you know I had a Tootsie Roll wrapper in my pocket right now?
She's psychic.
That's right, she is. It has been an absolute blast. Just like every time we've investigated, what, 2 or 3 times now?
Right.
Yeah. Absolute blast every time. And I'm looking forward to the Pythias next Saturday night, which I will be live streaming. It's not going to be an interview like setup. It's just going to be I've got the DVR cameras that are going to be set up. I've got 8 of them. They're going to be static locations, and we're going to get them set up, and hopefully we can catch some good stuff. And then we've got the Monroe house the week after.
Right. So, I'm looking forward to the Monroe.
I'm very.
I didn't even tell my stories from the Monroe. Damn it.
I'll have to get you back on.
Yep.
I'll have to. Obviously,
just hit me up. I'll schedule for later in the year.
So I sent Amber the money, and I was like, I said ghost bait money, and she's like, we promise we won't leave you in the basement for too long. So
yeah, one of my stories is actually from the basement.
All right, we got a couple of minutes. Quickly.
Okay. I was in the basement with me and my friend John. We're in the basement. We were probably like 10 feet apart looking at each other. And he's a guy like me. He doesn't run. He doesn't get frightened. And he's like, just stands there and he's like, oh my God, dude. And he's like, I just felt a hand go up on my shoulder. And it's like resting on the top of my shoulder. And he's just like standing there frozen. And he's like, oh my God, dude. Here's another one. And then he felt another hand on the other shoulder. He's like, we need to go. And as he starts to walk away, it like grabs the upper part of his shoulder and he like bolts out of the basement.
I believe that. I got pushed in the basement.
I've got punched in the face in the basement coming up out of the steps. That's also happened in the basement there.
I don't want to get punched again. Or punched while we're there, but we'll see if I get touched. Every place I go, I get touched. So, Brad, it's been a pleasure. I will see you next week.
Yep, see ya.
Real quick, everybody, remember, once I get to 500 subscribers, I am giving away a $50 Go Stop gift card. So go follow my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube, and make sure that you go to. Make sure you go to my post on my Facebook, like, share, and subscribe, and then comment. And once I get to 500 subscribers, I will be giving away that $50 Go Stop gift card. And then we will do our race to get to 1,000, which will be a better prize. I promise you. And Anyway, thank you all for tuning in and enjoying us ramble on about the paranormal. You guys have a good night.
Yep. Have a good one, everyone.